I was very blessed to grow up in a family where I experienced God's love in a very particular way. So just salt of the earth parents, mom and dad. Dad only went to 8th grade because he was back on the farm. Mom had to work her way through high school, Catholic high school, because she really wanted to go to a Catholic high school. So just in that humility, that open disposition, having 3 aunts that were religious sisters was also influential, so I could kind of see what sacrificial love looked like. I seen how my parents loved each other, and through that, kind of their humble deference to each other in beautiful ways as husband and wife, kind of in their beautiful roles. So with the genius of the feminine gift that God gave to my mother and the masculine gift to my dad, and seeing that lived out on the farm in very practical ways. So what that meant is, mom would, for her, it was to be a housewife and mother, and she just so loved it, so invested herself in that. And seeing her pour out her heart for us kids, cleaning all those dirty overalls and doing the garden and, taking care of things around the house, and dad on the farm with the multiple responsibilities to provide for the family. But I could see in their love for each other was so clearly manifest. And then there was, of course, the parish priest that was so influential in my life, Father Pouliot. Father Pouliot was one of these men who grew up in the country, had a very humble kind of country parish priest disposition. And I could see from young on how he so loved the flock, us. And so he was my pastor for those years. And when I would get close to that altar, there was something stirring within my heart as I seen sacrificial love lived in his life as a priest, like I seen it in my parents, like I seen it in my aunts who weren't married, like I seen it in my consecrated aunts who were religious sisters. It was so manifest in the vocational life of the culture that I grew up in. And being close to that altar, then the Lord started to stir within my own heart a vocational stirring of, how is God calling me to love? So when I think of, later in my life, I would learn, what does charity mean? Another word for charity, kind of in its purest Latin form. And as St. Thomas would speak, willing the good of the other. So I seen all these models in my life of willing the good of the other, meaning I was the one receiving so much. And I would find at times where the Lord was just flooding my heart, even as a little kid, with all these spiritual graces and blessings, spiritual insights. I would remember, for example, going when I was supposed to be doing chores, going down the back, going into the woods, and there was a creek there, which I loved to sit next to, just listening to nature, watching the water, hearing the water flow, and how God would be speaking to my own heart, manifesting his love, all these things he's provided for me. So I experienced this tangible love of God himself in these beautiful, intimate moments of silence, deep listening, and sometimes very much out of the blue. But then I seen it manifest in vocations. So it was really out of that experience that my heart was shaped for love, which all of our hearts are. And I would discover over time, what does that look like?